So, welcome to everybody, even online or recorded. We're going to talk about the Parque del Agua in Spain with the collaboration, World Urban Parks, and I'm going to say Play Institute and Indiana University as well. Okay, so we start. First of all, I'm Alberto Ipas. I'm the CEO of Parque del Agua in Zaragoza, Spain. Okay, let's start. First of all, here we are. Where is Zaragoza? It's in Spain, south of Europe. You can see it's a city between Madrid and Barcelona, down inside the circle, the red one, and you can see we are next to the Mediterranean Sea. Okay, how is Zaragoza? Here you can see a picture from the sky. It's a flat city, doesn't look very nice from the city, and it's divided by River Ebro, which is one of the biggest rivers in Spain. And you can see there is no mountains around. And in the circle here, in the yellow one, is where the park was going to be built. This picture was taken in 2005. And the city reserved all this area to do something big. They didn't know which thing to do yet. And then when the Expo opportunity came, they did an Expo on the park. Okay. This is the same picture in 2008, 3 years later that the whole park was built and the Expo was built as well. The Expo is about 25 hectares, which is 70 acres, and the Parque del Agua, that the translation will be water park, is 125 hectares, okay? And this is the Expo. For you more or less to have an idea, in the United States, for example, there have been expos in Chicago or in New York, in San Luis, and some other places. There are two kinds of expo, the big and the small. It was called universal and international. Okay, Zaragoza held in 2008 and a small one, that is 3 months, and more than 100 countries participate, and it was visited by 6 million people. When there is the big expo, like the one in Shanghai a few years ago, that is more than 6 months. Each country built its own pavilion, and it's much bigger, and it was much more visitors, about 20, 30, something like that. Zaragoza was a small one. So, but that changed the city. The expo changed the city. As you can see here, an idea of how was the city next to the park before and after the expo. You can see the river was not looked after, and there was not very nice things in the river. And after the expo, everything was built and everything looks nicer as well. You can see this was like an abandoned area, so there was very few visitors that they joined next to the river. And after, yeah, there was a lot of people joining in the park because it was much nicer. This is one of the sides of the park. Okay, and one of the things that we will need to see in the park is that the park is in a floating area. That means that the river is going to take its place several times. I mean, a picture like this have happened a couple of times in the last 10 years, but these things happen. And the park needs to live towards the river Ebro. Here in the top picture, there is a hillock and there is the river. The river, when it grows a lot, takes all this green area, and the hillock, which is like a road which is a little bit high, protects that the water doesn't get inside the park. But we need to live with that. How do we do it? Okay, you can see in this picture how the river Ebro can grow. It's a Mediterranean river. That means that can grow a lot. Here in Spain doesn't rain normally in summer, only in winter and in autumn. And here the river has 100 times more water than in summer. Imagine your local river, and from summer up to the flooding episodes have 100 times more water, from 25 to 2,500 cubic meters per second. So that means that there is a lot of water, and this water needs to pass. And there's a park in the middle, and you need to work with it. Okay, you cannot take the water to some other place because the water is going to pass. How do we do it? For example, buildings. Here we can see how the buildings fight against the nature and the floating. They don't really fight. They are working with the nature and working with the river. For example, there are here 3 examples. The top one is the spa. This is a gymnasium, but the way that it was built is quite strange. It was not built with pillars connect to the soil or to the ground. It was built like the lines in red that you see here, and it's like a boat, but it's a concrete boat, and it is very, very heavy. What happened? This all this concrete is like 1 meter thick, and the water, when it's floating, start pushing from the sides and from down. So start pushing the whole building, and the whole building, when there is a floating, start to go up. So this is when it says floating building, is really, it's true that the whole building in the middle of a floating episode, it's like floating like 2-3 centimeters, no more. Then the water goes down and the building goes back to the place one more time after being floating for 2-3 centimeters. It's quite impressive as well. Here to the right side, we can see Arbole, which is a theater. It's a kids theater, and we have another way of fighting the water is we do a hole down, and all the water will go there, and we put a pumping machine, and we pump the water out through the pipe on the top. So before going out, before the water gets into the theater, we pump all the water. So the theater is surrounded by water, but we pump it out, so there is no problems inside. And the third one down, you can see it's easier to weigh. It's inside the 3 circles, it will be a building. The whole park is float, as you can see, but inside the circles, there are 3 buildings that they stay dry. They stay dry because they are built like 1/2 meter higher than the rest of their gardens. The people don't really realize, and there is not stairs to get out, but that's enough, that 1/2 meter, so the water does not get into the buildings over there. So these are 3 examples of how the park with the buildings fight against floating episodes. Okay, what is the main challenge of the park? Okay, this is first of all, it's a big park because Zaragoza is a medium city. The park, as we have seen before, does not connect neighborhoods. So nobody from one side to the other will cross the park to go to one side to the other one. It's in a floating area. We have seen we will need a big budget of maintenance, and we will need to attract people to the park. Apart from prevent security and vandalism, we try to do those things. And how did we do it? Okay, first of all, this is a picture of a map of the park. Every single square with a number that you see is an activity that you can do inside the park. Okay, so that means that all around the park there are things to do. So that's one of the reasons that we attract people to the park. Okay, the other one, we will see 3 different colors: yellow, the blue and green, and gray. This means that we have 3 different kind of maintenance. The yellow is for us the cheapest one. It's like the wild area. We are standing in a forest that is already there, and we almost do anything. In the green and the blue, we do the normal maintenance of a normal park, where it is only about 40%, and the gray is done by private investors. We don't do it. How do we see? This is the yellow that we have seen before. It's a river forest, it's about 90 acres, and it requires a very low maintenance. Okay, we do not look after a lot, only irrigation and cleaning, and that's it. The public gardens, we have a normal maintenance, and inside of those normal maintenance, we do different things. And then will be the gray area that we have seen here. We have many activities and still green and still look after the place, but we do not spend money on it, okay? Because it's a private company that do it. How do we do it? This is a picture of the park, which is not nice picture. See, this is your park. Yes, it is. Okay. But this is like a few years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. We have this place and was not finished, was unfinished, 3,500 square meters, more or less. It was in one side of the park. And they say, what we are going to do with this park? Because we have no money to finish it. Over there, we need to change the soil, the ground, plant trees, put benches, put fountains, put paths, lamps, lighting, etc. That is going to cost around 100,000 euros or US dollars. We do not have it. And as well, if we do it, then we need to look after that maintenance. So we will not have enough money to look after. What do? We look somebody out, and we try to attract them to an activity inside. What do we find? We find a guy, for example, that have his own little activity, which is a dog trainer, and it's a private invest and do agility. The agility is the dog training, and it's this guy was like about 5 kilometers apart from the park. He have a small area in a farming plot, that they say, okay, come here to the park because I mean the people will enjoy it more. So that's one of the problems. We have problems now. We have a solution. Okay, another way, another activity. All the lakes and all the channels inside the park, we used to try to do it just not decorative, so the people use it. For example, we have wakeboard and cable ski. Another activity, rafting and kayak. We have a wide water canal, so we can do many activities with water. As well, the activities with firefighters, army, things like that. They do rescue practice here because it's everything under control. Another thing, in the lakes and in the canals, they are very safe. There's no current, there's no dangerous things, and they are a little bit down, so they are protected from the local wind. It's a very nice area for the kids to start learning kayak and things like that. Then, when they have learned inside the park, they can go to the river. Another activity, we have an adventure park as well. This is something nice for the kids, and it's in an area that they will look after the grass and the place, and they will pay a rent to be in there. Another activity that we have, for example, we saw before, and agility was private, and we have another one which is free. That's good for us and good for the trainer there, because a lot of local dogs come here and then they know there is a trainer. So it's a good idea for both of the parts. Another part, another thing that we have, an equestrian center. It's about 10,000 square meters. It's like a football stadium because we have 20 horses. With those 20 horses, they do activities. They are not private horses. So if you have a horse, you cannot have it here because the horses here needs to be rental. Everybody can use it. Okay, and then you do like walk in the forest or next to the river, and with the horse manure we will use it later on in the gardens, in our local gardens as well. Which other things that we do? We have a nice, because we have a nice landscape, we have lagoons, we have gardens, we have parkings. Then we say, okay, let's bring all the official weddings of the city that they used to do it in the city hall. Let's bring it here. Why? It's because we save money to the city hall. Saturday and Sunday, there are local weddings. That means that you need to open the building. You need to look after the security. You need to clean it, climatize, heating, everything as a big building. As the city hall say, no, okay, let's bring it to the park. We have a nice building in the park. And every year around 300 weddings official, they are here. So it doesn't bother, it doesn't cost a single euro to the city council. We do it here, and somebody do it in a private way, and the people do not pay it. As well, another thing that we do with the water, we make nice pools with the beach that we have here, inland beach. Here you can see ladies, this is the beach. Now is July. We are 37 Celsius degrees. I have been 20 minutes ago in this place and it was crowded of people. These are like, it's like a local swimming pool. It is made with sand and with palm trees, which is really nice area. And it doesn't look like you are in a big city. It looks like maybe, I mean, I'm not going to say that you look like in the Caribbean. It is a very nice place to be there right now because, I mean, it's very refreshing areas. As well, all these activities, all this business inside the park, they're going to offer you activities, and they're going to offer you, like, for example, free toilets. Instead of putting toilets to the visitors, these companies, they will do it. And we don't need to clean it. We don't need to build it. We don't need to look after them. All these activities, they have free toilets for all the visitors. So it's another way of saving money to the city hall. Another activity, how to reduce the maintenance. We have a place, it's like another football station, football pitch, with about 11,000 square meters. Hardly nobody go there. It's true, hardly nobody go there. And what we do, we say, okay, we need to find an activity. Which activity? Okay, this is very big. We need to look after, we need to irrigate, and we need to look after the trees. Let's do something. What are we doing? Here we make it and we change it into rental gardens, vegetable rental gardens for rented, and the people rent around 30 meters. It's small. It is enough as to have fun with your own garden. What happens if you don't know? It doesn't matter, because if you have no idea of gardening, first of all, there is a shop that's going to sell you a lot of things. They will give you things for free, and as well, they will give you lessons of an urban eco farmers. So if you have no idea, the people teach it, and it's nice. There are people that they spend money to go to the gym. There are people that spend money to go here. You spend about $25 for 1 month for your proper garden, and then they will give you water free, all the instrumental that you need for free, and they will give you some plants for free, so you can start. So just €25 a month, something like that. Here, use her own. This is the vegetable garden of a friend, and this is all the products that I take. Everything is ecological. Okay. As well, activities that we have for the children would be like kids theater, laser games, many activities, and we try to put them together. Okay, we try to put them together for the kids. Okay, for the kids, all the activities will be together. Things like a mini golf, things like bar and terraces is nice, and they are all together, and the kids are around. So it's in a protected area. We have security cams and many activities. A lot of them, they are for free, and some of them they are paying. Okay, so you can design which one do you want to go. Okay, another children's special activities. For example, once a year we have a very big fiesta here in Zaragoza, and we have, for example, special recycle games. This is the people, all the kids, they make little boats in the lagoons, things like that, and they really enjoy it. Okay, another one, for example, with tires, we have activity for children, and this only in this week we have around 200,000 visitors in one holiday week. So there's a lot of kids coming around. As well, we have things special for the kids, like theaters and activities, animation, entertainment, and free outdoor events. They do it for the children special, okay? As well, many other things that we do. Okay, all these things that we have seen, they are going to give to the park about 65 million US in private investment. I repeat, 65 million US. That means that if the private investors did not spend this money, we will not have enough money to finish the park. Okay, so that's one of the help. And then all the people that are here, they're going to rent as well. They're going to pay a rent to be inside. Let's see about the ecological management. Okay, working, first of all, we need to work in favor of nature. Okay, we know that we have flooding, we have insects, and we know we cannot fight against it because we're going to have it. Okay, we do not use any chemical products or glyphosates. Only one of things that we will see later on. How do we treat it in water? We will use normally recycled materials. Okay, and we try to use indigenous species of plants because when I mean is indigenous, I mean plants that they can be flooded for 1 month. Otherwise, the roots can get rotten. So the kind of trees that we plant here are basically from the river Ebro. And for example, we use sheep and bats or ladybugs as part of management. How do we do it? Okay, this is a bird island. This is a protect our area. We had a place that almost nobody go, and then we change it with a recycled material in some nice area for threatened birds. We will see later on, okay, because it's quite interesting. As well, here, this is a gardener here, is planting, is putting a little box, and inside there are ladybugs. It's about 8 to 10 ladybugs inside, and the ladybugs will come out of the bag of the box and start eating this, I don't know the name in English, annoying insects for the plants, and it will be very beneficial. Okay, as well we put a nest for bats. What they do, these nests of bats, we have several families of bats around the park, but they are next to the terraces, and in summer the terraces with the light they come hundreds of mosquitoes, but one single bat can eat around 100 to 150 mosquitoes per night. So we do not use chemical products to kill mosquitoes. No, we try to use bats, for example. The water system, how do we do it? We just, it's quite simple, but we take water from an irrigation channel that is not clean. Then we clean it with loose stones and aquatic plants plus air. Okay, and the water start to get clean. Then we fill up the lagoons and the channel. Even people can swim in those lagoons and the channel. And then all the water that we have not used, we put it back to the river again. So we put back the water to the river once that is more clean at the very beginning. Here you can see an idea how is the water when we take it from the river and how is when it's inside the river. And we have good quality of water as well, and we have nice lakes and nice lagoons here with the water that was brown a few days ago without any chemical product. We will see now one of the problems that we have. It's this is pipes from irrigation. Okay, pipes of irrigation, and the thing that is stuck over there is like a little mussel. It's called, well, I don't know the name in English, will be zebra mussel because it have the stripes, black and white, and the official name will be Dreissenia polymorpha. And this is what happened, no? Here you see a pump, and then you see all these little mussels growing here and getting stuck to the pump. What happened? The pump doesn't work anymore. There's no water coming out through here. So this is tiny, it's less than 1 centimeter, but it makes a lot of damage. Okay, this is an invasive species. Was not originally from Spain. It came from Asia a few years ago, and there is a lot of problems in the irrigation system. So what do we do to prevent that this not make a lot of let's see, a lot of damage to the park? Okay, we have 2 months. Normally in winter we do not irrigate. What we do is all the pipes, they are empty, and they are with air. We take out all the water, so we know that we have kilometers and kilometers of underground pipes. So what we do is no water. Some of the mussels start opening because they need the water, and then we put 10 days without water, and then we put water but with chlorine, with oxypremium. What happened when the zebra mussel eat it? It gets damaged. I mean, dies. The zebra mussel normally dies, and there is no affection to the pipes. What happened then? When then we put another product that breaks the shell. The shell it breaks, and then we put water with pressure under the pipes, and there's all the system with a lot of pressure, and we take out the dead mussel zebra. That means that that's the way to use. Otherwise, if we do not do it in our 1-2 years, all the system can be ruined by this zebra mussel. Okay, here you can see when you do not do any prevention things, and the thousands of colonies of this kind of mussel that we do. Okay, another activity that we do with animals. This is much nicer. This is a flock of sheep. We bring it normally 4 times a year. And remember, at the very beginning, we say that is yellow area. This is the wild forest area, which is we do it with a sheep. Why? It's cheaper, it's easier, and it's better. Otherwise, if we do not have a sheep, we need to put gardeners, heavy machine. It will be cutting, it will cost money, and it will take a lot of hours. But the sheep cuts, it's very clean cut the grass, cut the best thing of the grass as well. They leave a lot of manure. They fertilize everything, and then they are going all around, and they prevent fires in summer, because if this grass gets very high, and then somebody throws, for example, a cigarette, and a fire can occur. With this, we haven't got any fire, thanks to the flock of sheep. As well, we have insect hotel next to the vegetable gardens, which is very nice, and it's an activity the kids love it. And we put different kind of benefit insects that they spend the whole winter here, and they can grow and then spread around next to the gardens. Okay, another thing that we do. This is not animals. Okay, this is we do a lot of film shooting. And we do films. This picture is from a Bollywood film, quite popular in India, because there were people from India that came to Europe and they saw the park and they want to do something. Okay, finally they bring and they came to do some part of the film. And on the right side you can see a car. Probably you have not realized, but maybe for sure that you have seen at least in your life one spot or some cars that has been in the park. We have done already 45 spots of international cars, normally European cars, because we put all the papers and everything. We give all kind of facilities to the companies that they do the film shooting. So sometimes it's difficult in a city hall to do all the paperwork. We do all the paperwork, we charge them a rent, and then they come here to do, because they look after the nice landscape. Okay, as well, we do things now. They are not as popular a few years ago, but 7 years ago in 2011 we started with the QR, and people can take from the mobile a lot of information of the botanical gardens and everything that happened in the park just with the mobile. Now they have it a lot of people, but 8 years ago very few. We were one of the first ones in Spain. As I told you before, how do we do the wild bird installation? We have this place, 7,000 square meters. It's big, but we need to go to clean it. There might be vandalism, and really nobody really goes there. So we decide to close it. We decide to use recycled materials and to put a special place for the birds, and as well in the ground for the lizards and for many other insects. So where we have a problem, now we have a solution. Now with all this material, a lot of threatened birds, they can be there and they can breed without any problem. And we save money because we don't need to go there to clean or to look after anything, because it's closed. Normally it comes with volunteers a few times a year. For example, we have built this house here. This is for one popular bird that is very threatened right now. This bird eats a lot of wasp. Okay, bees and wasp mainly, and insects, and normally made his house next to the river in like in little mountains of sand, sandy mountains. But there is less sandy mountains, and there is more problem. So we have made this artificial, and they can be here, and we have make it very cheap. There is no water here, there is no lights, and we have make it on the top. You can see it's like an electric box. It's a plastic electric box like this, and that's the house. We put sand inside and material, and that's it. We have a colony of these 13 birds, very cheap. Okay, and as well we have volunteers from birds that they love birds, and they do, for example, these houses for birds with kids and family, and then they do like bird spotting and things like that, things like with the bats, all that stuff. Another thing that we do with the running circuits inside the park. Okay, you would say that's quite normal. Yeah, but for example, I think in Zaragoza and many cities as well, there is a lot of in the weekends. There is a lot of races, popular races of people running, things like that. That's very good. It's nice because people do activity, but as well, it costs a lot of money to a city because you need to cut traffic, you need to put policemen, you need to there's affections to the garage and to the buses and to the trams and many things. So that costs a lot of money. So here we decide that we have a very big place to gather the races of 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 runners. So we're going to put it here so we do not need to cut any big square of the city or any big area. We just do it here, and it's easier, and it's a solution that is going to save a lot of money to the park as well. Here you can see a picture, a map of the park, and you can see these lines, one in orange and the other one in blue. This is two running circuits. One is of 5 kilometers and 10 kilometers. You can run 10 kilometers inside the city without cutting a single street. No traffic lights. You are running in a place that there is no traffic. So 10 kilometers to run here is a lot of money that have saved for the city hall, and it's a good for the runners as well that come here to join. So this is the marks that we have to let the people know. This, for example, 0.5, and this is very cheap. These marks here cost about $1.52 each one. It's a metal one. We put it there, and they need no maintenance at all. So the people can see the orange and the blue, and they can decide how far they go. As well with the lagoons, we can do things like a triathlon or biathlon, things with water combined with cycling or running. So it's easier. So with all these little things that we have seen, the park have achieved several international awards. So not only in Spain, international awards, because all these, they give a lot of benefits. We have the Green Flag Award, the Green Glove Certified, the international. Recently, last week, we get the World Urban Parks, the Bronze Award, and the City Parks Alliance, we have the Frontline Park. Okay, so as well, from the National Spanish Association, we have several awards as well. Okay, this is us. Okay, this is the people that we work here in the park. It's about 34 people in total. That means people from the office and people from the fountains and people from the gardening. The total 34 is the most nice guy, is the one that is jumping here with a bit overweight. That's me. And I'm the manager of the people here. And we are here very happy because we won the Green Flag Award. We were the first Spanish park to achieve all these things that we have seen. That means that the maintenance of the park economical goes down. It costs less than $2 per square meter. Okay, now you will need to change and to look after, if you are working in parks, how much is your park or how much is the park that you know. I can tell you that other similar parks, the average of a square meter per year, it goes a little bit higher than $3, 2.5, 3, for depends. Us is about $1.5 per year per square meter. Okay, and the final tips, as you can see, is basically with the work, let the nature work for you, because if you let the nature work for you, you're going to have a lot of things done already. And when you involve the private investors, they're going to bring people and money to the park. So it's going to be easier when you have private investors, because otherwise a park like this one that is very big in a medium city will be very, very difficult to make that the people come, just because you have trees or just because you have canals or lagoons. Okay, that's the main ones, and basically that's it. So this is me. If you have any question, you can send an email here, and we will try to, if you have any doubt about how do we do the park or how do we do it, okay, we will try to do it. So thank you to everybody. I hope that you didn't fall asleep in the middle or really at the beginning will be more worried, and have fun. And I send you a very big hug from Zaragoza, Spain, and you are all welcome to see us. Okay.
Great, thank you, Alberto. I'm feeling very inspired. This is Hannah Cleveland from the World Parks Academy. Yeah. I have a couple questions to follow up on your presentation. Let's see, I was wondering if you use renewable energy in the park, solar power or hydropower. You could talk about that.
Okay, we use it in two ways, not as much as we would like, and we contract with a local big energy company, and in this energy company, they send us a certification that says that all the energy that we use in the park comes from renewable ways. Okay, so we do not produce our own renewable electricity, and we will just hire from places that they do it in an ecological way. And as well, we have a few lamps, a few solar lights. I can tell you very few in some paths and in some. So what we want to do is when we start changing all the solar system, we will try to use this kind of energy as well.
Thank you. Another question I had is about transportation. So you mentioned that the neighborhoods aren't very connected to the park. Is there public transportation, or are there bike paths and trails, and how do people get there?
Okay. The people to the park, I mean, it's about let's see, that 500,000 of people have the park 20 minutes by bus, by bicycle, and by car. Okay, about 100,000, something like that, they come walking. They come walking from the near neighborhoods, and then they come walking because they pass through the park because they come to walk or they come to run. Okay, and there's also bicycles as well. All the main bicycles areas from the city finish. No, they go around the park, and there is public transport. We had two parking slots of about 1,200 cars, and they kept completely in Saturday and Sundays when there is nice weather. They normally today they will be around 400, 500 cars right now. Maybe in the afternoon will be about 600, 700.
Does the city charge for parking?
No, it's for free. Here it's for free.
First come, first serve. I have a question about the water quality.
Yeah.
Is it, first of all, is it salt water or fresh water?
No, it's fresh water. It comes from the river, fresh.
Oh, okay. And how long did it take to improve the water quality, and do you test it regularly?
Yeah, okay, good question. Yeah, we do it, and normally we have a system that is about 10 days that 1 liter of water that comes from the north of the park pass through the whole system get clean and go back to the river again, something like that. Okay, and what we do is we take it from an irrigation channel. The water is waiting in a place. Okay, let me see if you can see. The water is waiting in a canal for about 3-4 days, and all the solid things, all the solid material, they got stuck there. Okay, and then what we do is we pass it through loose plants and this one, and plants and loose stones, and it gets stuck there. All the things that are not natural things, but things like pollution, things like that, and then as the result that it gets here much cleaner. Okay, when we clean the lakes, all the limes and all the mud, we take it and we put it with the horse manure. We put it with rotten vegetables and rotten vegetation, and we mix it with sand, and we have nice quality soil for our plants.
It's great. And it takes a couple days for this process?
Well, from one side, from one canal to the other one, let's say that the whole process is about 10-12 days, something like that. Since we take 1 liter of water, since we put it back to the river.
Okay. Great, thank you. Looks like we have had a couple people join us in the last 5 minutes. I wonder if the time got mixed up on the time. If anyone's been listening, are there any questions?
Hi, Hannah. Christy here.
Hi, Christy.
Hi,
Boylan.
Alberto. Yeah? Yes,
hey,
my apologies. I meant to join you at 1, but something happened here and I was unable to do so. But I'll get the recording afterwards anyway. And I heard you speak before and I was very impressed. It's a wonderful park, and someday I hope to see it.
Okay.
I have no questions, though. You've answered.
Yeah, sure.
Well done.
Thank you. Alberto, do you know if there are any other cities using this park as a model?
Some of them, they use it because this park at the very beginning, they have the mayor of Zaragoza. They say, okay, look, we have a huge park here. If we use it, if this park is not, I mean, huge park for a city like Zaragoza. I mean, Barcelona is 5 times bigger and have not a park as this big. And Madrid, which is very big, it's about 5 million inhabitants, have 2 parks of this size. So for a city like this, they say we need to do something. And the thing about ecological is because, I mean, it comes from because we need to do it this way. We cannot do it. And Expo was sustainability and social development. So you cannot do a park next to the Expo, which is thinking something else. Okay, you need to do ecological, and then you need to do practical. And because we know that it's not going to be a lot of budget, we need to bring people from different business to join the park, to take advantage of the park. They going to collaborate with this money, and there are parks but not as many activities as this one, because here we have seen about 20, something like that. There are 30 something activities inside the park. So there is a lot of activities. I mean, a lot of activities for this city. I mean, maybe if you compare to another big city, will not be as big as that. So some of the parks, they come and they take some ideas and they copy some ideas, and because we normally we show the park to people, and they have a few ideas on some of them. They have tried to copy some things, and they are all welcome, because we are not fighting against any other park. We are always welcome to share the knowledge, and we have done bad things as well, and to share it as well. You try not to do this because you might have mistakes as well. Yeah.
There's a lot to learn from this example. Thank you. Do you have any new projects or programs that you're excited about this year?
Okay, well, this year we are finishing the last building of the park. So the park was finished 90%, 95%, and this year will be completely finished, because we are putting in one side an elderly residence, elderly for old people.
Retirement
So,
home.
yeah, retire, and we have that building that was not finished from the Expo. It was going to be a hotel, and then the hotel didn't never open. So it came this company say we want to put a retirement elderly hotel. Because I mean, if you are old and it's not the same to open your window and you are in the middle of the traffic jam and things like that in the city, than next to a nice city with a nice gardens and lakes and lagoons and a nice place to walk around.
Yeah, that would be nice. Well, great. Thank you. Fascinating presentation. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you very much, Hannah. Thank you to
Thank you, Alberto. Thank you.
And it looks like we have a couple more people who have joined us. So the webinar will be recorded and available on provalenslearning.com. Also, if you have certification with the World Parks Academy, you can take a short assessment after the presentation for credit. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please contact us. Thank you.
Thank you.